Integrity, accountability, adaptability, empathy, and the ability to communicate and delegate effectively are all key qualities in effective leaders, and they're also key qualities in successful physicians. Dr. Jubal, MedSchoolInsiders.com. This is how to find and create leadership opportunities and how to succeed as a student leader. Welcome to another installment of our Extracurriculars Explained series, where we take a deep dive into extracurricular activities to help you decide which ones are right for you and how to succeed. We previously covered research, volunteering, scribing, and more. Let us know what you'd like us to cover next in the comments. First off, why is leadership experience so important to admissions committees? Admissions committees pay close attention to the leadership experience of medical school applicants because what makes a great leader makes a great doctor. By definition, a doctor is the person who has the answers. Your career path is one of a leader. You will be the person people come to, whether they be patients, nurses, PAs, or medical students, to solve problems and determine the best path forward. Additionally, leadership skills are a huge benefit to the school. By accepting leaders into the student body, the school fills itself with self-starters who can problem solve, work well with others, and bring innovation to the campus. Remember, each medical school has its own mission and goals, and admissions committees are looking for students who will help the institution achieve them. So, how do you find or create the ideal leadership opportunity? First, understand that leadership can take many forms. You might be the leader of a pre-health club, the founder of an organization, or an EMT lead. These are straightforward, traditional leadership experiences where you're the clear person in charge of leading a team. But there are many other less traditional ways to gain leadership experience. You could be a leader in the research lab, become the lead TA of a class, or gain leadership in unrelated employment, such as being a restaurant or retail store manager. Leadership opportunities aren't as clear-cut as gaining research, volunteer, or clinical experience, and you may need to get creative in order to find a leadership opportunity that's the right fit for you. Seek out leadership opportunities in the areas you're passionate about, and if they don't exist, create them. Look for where there is a need. What are the pain points of other students? What are the pain points of your community? What can you do to help solve these pain points? You can even consider any issues you're having yourself. For example, if you struggle to find mental health resources or don't feel like there are enough research opportunities for students at your school, you can work to fill that need. This is actually more difficult to do at larger, more competitive pre-med colleges. Smaller schools have more gaps that you can fill yourself and less competition for these opportunities. For example, if your school doesn't have an emergency medical services organization, you can start one. Founding something like this, where there is a clear need, gets you involved with the people on campus, faculty, administration, and community at large. It also requires an incredible amount of planning, problem solving, and decision making. This type of experience is much more valuable and has more to teach you than simply inheriting the presidency of an existing society. And remember, it doesn't have to be something medically related either. I leveraged my leadership experiences in dance and design, many do so through sports, and there are countless other avenues. Each experience has its own pros and cons. If you're struggling to find an ideal leadership role, our one-on-one advisors can help you determine your leadership strengths and where you can build your own opportunities to wow admissions committees. Learn more about these services in the description. Next, let's discuss the benefits of student leadership. First, as a leader, you will learn invaluable skills. Becoming an effective leader requires honing many critical skills that will aid you in medical school, residency, and as a fully licensed doctor. You'll learn problem solving, as you are often innovating and envisioning as the person in charge. You'll also learn how to communicate effectively, as good communication is essential to leadership. And it doesn't end there. Being a great leader requires a multifaceted toolbox of skills, including effective decision-making, delegation, reliability, active listening, innovation, empathy, integrity, and adaptability. Next, in a leadership role, you'll build your confidence. Putting in the work day in and day out and leading by example is a marvelous antidote to imposter syndrome. Being a leader pushes you outside of your comfort zone. It forces those who are quieter into the limelight and shows you what you're truly capable of. This does wonders for your confidence and will trickle down into all of your future endeavors. Lastly, leadership builds strong relationships. In a leadership role, you'll regularly interact interact with your peers, faculty, and the community. These clubs and organizations often require a faculty sponsor, so if you put in the work long-term and consistently go the extra mile, they could potentially write you a glowing letter of recommendation when all is said and done. This cannot be overemphasized. Building strong relationships for letters of recommendation is essential to crafting a competitive application. While student leadership is essential to a successful application, it certainly comes with its fair share of challenges. First, it takes an enormous investment of time to be a good leader. You'll need to voluntarily put in more time and effort than anyone else on your team with passion and perseverance. This takes sacrifice, as saying yes to such a colossal time suck means saying no to a number of other extracurricular opportunities. And bear in mind that the time investment doesn't start when you earn the position of leader. It takes years, as you'll need to work your way from the ground up, building your leadership skills, taking the jobs no one else wants, and going the extra mile. Although a difficult and lengthy process, this sacrifice and longitudinal commitment is what admissions committees are looking for. The next challenge is that competing for a leadership position can often bring out people's ugly side, and competition can sometimes go too far. You could be competing to become an elected leader, or there may be conflict within a group if many members are vying for more leadership responsibility. While a bit of competition is healthy, remember that the title isn't everything. Losing your integrity, friendships, or the fun of the experience on your journey to the top will only hurt you. Lastly, it's quite challenging to be a great leader, and doing a poor job can backfire. Everyone is looking at you since you're the decision maker. It's you who has a lot to lose. If you take on too much, a position you're not ready for, or don't fully invest in your responsibilities, you'll end up having a poor experience while losing the respect of those who were looking to you as their leader. Plus, the faculty sponsor and anyone else who witnessed your downfall won't be able to write you a strong letter of recommendation. Now that you have a better understanding of what student leadership looks like, let's cover how to become a successful leader. Here are 5 key strategies to get the most out of leadership opportunities. First, you need to figure out what you're passionate about. Trial and error early on in undergrad is vital. In the first 1 to 2 years of college, say yes to many different opportunities to taste test the various options. Start pruning your interests during your sophomore year to determine what you'll stick with. What can you see yourself committing to enthusiastically for the remainder of undergrad? You need to be sure about the club, organization, position, or job when you decide to dedicate your time to it as a leader. Leadership roles take up a ton of time and are incredibly challenging, so you don't want to be stuck working on something you're not interested in. That lack of passion will seep through in how you approach the role, and you won't be able to speak about the experience as enthusiastically in essays and during interviews. Second, understand that leadership isn't a destination or goal you're trying to reach one day. Leadership begins as soon as you start investing time into an experience. True leaders act like it all the time, even when no one is looking. Lead by example in everything you do. You don't have to have the title to inspire others to do their best. Act like a leader from day one, and it will come all the more naturally once you do gain the title. Third, prioritize the experience over a fancy title. Don't start a club just so you can be the leader. You need a story to tell that fits your application narrative, and ideally, one that connects you with a good advisor or mentor that sets you up for a strong letter of recommendation. At Med School Insiders, we can help you craft a compelling narrative that's cohesively woven through every aspect of your application. Learn about our one-on-one advising services linked in the description. Look for quality over quantity. Earning the role of president and simply following the old process of your predecessor is not nearly as meaningful as a lesser role that you amplified by innovating, collaborating, and inspiring those around you. Great leaders are the people on the ground working side by side with their team. Any leadership position can give you this experience. In fact, taking on a big title and failing to fully commit to it can backfire on you. Adcoms can see this on your application. They know how to sniff out a meaningless title that lacks depth and a genuine narrative. Next, commit fully, but don't overcommit yourself. Committing to a role means saying no to something else. You can't do everything, and a leadership role requires much more of your time than other commitments. You'll need to narrow down your options and ensure you only commit to what you can handle. Don't overcommit and underperform. Examine your schedule closely to figure out how much time you realistically can give. Determine 1 or 2 opportunities you're most passionate about and commit fully. This is much more impressive on an application than filling your activity section with hollow, short-lived activities. Lastly, lead with empathy and understanding. You won't earn loyalty by acting like a dictator. Be proactive, be communicative, and lead by example. If you complete tasks early, not on time, you will inspire others to do the same. Take the time to learn how to communicate with everyone on your team, as well as what their strengths, weaknesses, and goals are so that you can delegate effectively. Great leaders understand that everyone has something valuable to contribute. Figure out how to buttress everyone's strengths and help people improve on their weaknesses. Invest in the people around you. It's not just what you did, it's how you worked with others. Celebrate your team, pick them up, and help wherever you can. And when you leave, put in the effort to transition out of your role to set the ones who follow you up for success. Schools don't just want students who know how to achieve good grades. They also want strong leaders who will help the school achieve its mission. Gaining impactful leadership experience as a student isn't easy, and it often requires putting yourself out there and creating your own opportunities. And that's just the sort of thing Med School Insiders can assist you with as we help you navigate the ideal path toward your medical school acceptance. If your dream is to become a doctor, you'll love the Med School Insiders Premed Roadmap to Medical School Acceptance course. We cover the nuances and details of how to be a leading pre-med, including course scheduling, common mistakes to avoid, extracurricular leadership, and our one-of-a-kind tactics for securing full scholarships to top medical schools. It's the guide I wish I had when I was a pre-med. For guidance on other key extracurriculars, check out our guides to student research and volunteering.